Newt Gingrich is making news again. In an interview on the Laura Ingraham Show, Gingrich said he's rethinking his hawkish views and doubts the U.S. strategy in the Middle East over the past 12 years. He called U.S. neoconservative policies, quote, overly aggressive, and suggested that we focus more on American interests and less on regime change and building democracies overseas. He said, quote, I am a neoconservative, but at some point, even if you're a neoconservative, you need to take a deep breath to ask if our strategies in the Middle East have succeeded. It may be that our capacity to export democracy is a lot more limited than we had thought. Will this encourage other neocons, in your opinion, to rethink their own positions, or has Newt become enough of a caricature that they can just write him off?
I mean, I think if the Iraq War didn't cause you to rethink your positions on neoconservatism, I don't know whether Newt Gingrich is a powerful or persuasive enough force to get you to change your mind. So in that respect, I think that the facts on the ground and the actual course of American foreign policy are a lot more relevant to the debate than what Newt Gingrich has to say about it. But at the same time, Newt Gingrich is someone who has not been really willing to reverse course on the either the rhetorical or the actual policy strategies that the GOP has pushed for really the last 20 or so years, even after those turned out to be really, really disastrous on multiple occasions for his party. So the fact that he's willing to basically abandon the basic tenets of neoconservatism, I think it's interesting that in that interview he says, I'm still a neoconservative. I still identify as a neoconservative, but he's saying he opposes American interventionism abroad to spread democracy and fight Islamic jihad. That's basically what neoconservatism is. I mean, the basic worldview for a neocon is that most people want to essentially live the way Americans live, and that if you just give them the opportunity to do so, those democratic structures that you see in the United States will come into being. And that you cannot hold those views and be non-interventionist at the same time. So I think the fact that he's changed course there is significant. But I also think most people who are still clinging to this worldview have done so in the face of the Iraq War, and that's you're talking about people who are very difficult to persuade. Politicians never stop being politicians, and I think at a certain point, the prospect of Newt Gingrich becoming, entering national elected office ever again has become very, very slim. But that doesn't mean that his brain doesn't stop working the way it's always worked. I think he's someone who wants to be in the public eye, who wants to be a part of policy debates, and who wants to be considered an important public figure. I think after his presidential run in 2016, which seemed, I think, to a lot of people, including myself, like a really quirky, long shot, bizarre bid. After that went down, I just can't really see what he's going to do that's going to remake his public image to make him more palatable for the Republican Party or for the for the country as a whole. I think he's just trying to be Newt Gingrich. He wants to be part of the debate.